Hi guys, Devin here, aka Mispelled Rebel, and today we're going to be talking about many important things. So basically, I just wanted to jump into Microsoft's press conference the other day. I think they killed it. I think they did a really good job. I'm just going to go game by game here, kind of what they revealed, my takeaway on it. Obviously, this is all my opinion. Your opinion's going to differ. Please leave a comment down below if there's something that you saw that you were really excited about, or something I was excited about that you're not, or something I might have missed, because I probably missed quite a bit. Taking notes was not as much fun as just watching it. So I'm going to go through here. First thing, Call of Duty Advanced Warfighter. I don't know what to make of the game, to be quite honest with you. It looks like it's got Battlefield 3's graphics, which are not that great. I mean, they're not bad. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad. But they're behind. You're using kind of Titanfall-looking guns. It's got some of the more kind of mech mechanics to it, I guess you can kind of say, for your character. So it's like you're playing more of a Titanfall in a Call of Duty game. And I know it's kind of unfair to compare the two because they're totally different games. But just because Titanfall was the first game to come out with all these mechs in it and all this, well, not the first game, but the first game for Xbox One to come out with, the mechs and the giant robotics and everything. It's what it's going to get compared to all the time. There was some interesting stuff there. I just want to bring up double jumps. I saw a double jump, which means Kyle Bossman's team is in the lead from game trailers. I don't know if you guys saw that bet segment, but for some reason they didn't think there would be a double jump in the press conference. I count that as a double jump, which I'm pretty pumped about because not many games really incorporate double jumps anymore. They kind of showed off a little bit of the single player. Obviously the guy was playing on recruit because nothing was really happening. He was walking around in circles and not getting shot. One thing I don't understand, the dialogue just seemed to have no kind of emotion in it. Like they didn't really care what was going on. And again, after the cutscene, you're being saved. Every Call of Duty, doesn't matter what's going on, you have to get saved by somebody. I don't have super high hopes for the game. I'm excited that Sledgehammer is going in a different direction because I think people are kind of tired of the whole Black Ops sucks. It's bad. It's done. It's been played out. No one can tell you what happened in Black Ops 2 campaign. Hopefully the campaign is good. I know I'm one of the very few who still likes to play campaign, and I will be playing Call of Duties. Next I'm going to jump down to Forza. Whoop-de-doo, you put the Nürburgring in there. I had Forza 5 and I traded it in because basically there wasn't much to do anymore. I ran out of stuff to do. It wasn't that fun. Drivatars were not as important as I thought they were going to be. There weren't that many cars. That's one thing I don't understand. They put the Nürburgring back into Forza and act like it's something new. I've raced that ring in every other Forza before, but for some reason you took it out just to put it back in. It doesn't excite me when you come out with content that should have been in your game to begin with. Taking cars out to put new ones in doesn't make any sense. If you already have the cars there, put them in the next game. I understand you have some kind of licensing problems, but the problem is when you go forward with less cars than you had in the original game and less tracks, people are going to be bummed because, yeah, it could look amazing, but if I can only pick from a short list of cars, and to be quite frank, cars I'm not that excited about, I get bummed. Although, Forza Horizon 2, I am excited for that game. I don't know how many people really are going to be excited for that game because Horizon 1 was fun but short, and once you beat it, you beat it. You were done. There weren't that many cars. This one is promising 200 plus cars. 200 plus cars is not a ton. Gran Turismo beats that any day of the week. However, it's still more than they had in the original. The graphics look way better. It's running on Forza 5's engine, which is definitely a plus. There's going to be day and night and weather. Finally, a Forza game has decided to make it rain. They're going to make it rain on everyone. And hopefully, the dirt will be affected by that because they did show off some off-road racing. And hopefully, it gets bogged down, gets muddy, you can slide around a little bit easier. That'd be definitely cool. Hopefully it's more open world than the last one. I don't want to keep driving into fences that I can't just break through. I want to drive everywhere. If there's a building, obviously I know I'm not going to drive through it, but I would like to explore the map a little bit more other than just the roads. And they did show, for whatever reason, you can open your car door while you're driving. This kind of threw me off a little bit because I don't understand it. If you're going to be driving while you're opening your car door, unless you're getting out to walk around. And they didn't mention that at all. So I have no idea what the point of showing that off was. Next they went on to Evolve. And this is a game that I'm really curious about. It kind of looks like an HD Borderlands. Like it could get very repetitive quickly, but it looks like it would initially be very fun, and I'm really excited just to see what that turns into, because as of right now there's not much out on it, and I think it's got a lot of potential, and I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like a fun kind of Monster Hunter shooter game, and it looks like a very good social game. Next, on to a big one that I think kind of stole the show a little bit yesterday throughout the entire day. Assassin's Creed Unity. Wow. There's really not enough I can really say about it. The map looks humongous. You can do a lot of cool stuff. The cool thing I saw too, he went into a building and it didn't just do a cutscene. He was inside the building. He could have walked around a little bit. He killed the two guys, moved on. It wasn't like Assassin's Creed 3, and a little bit in 4, which you really didn't experience too much unless you spent a lot of time in the city looking for them. That if you went through a window, you would just kind of do this little cutscene animation and be out the other side very quickly. This one just looks very open world. It looks very explorable, a lot of fun. Some interesting looking weapons I saw at one point. There was kind of like a large hand axe or double-sided axe. The one guy had a spear. I did see a crossbow. I'm really hoping that, I saw a picture earlier, and I don't know if it was just a glimpse of the crossbow or if it was an actual bow, but if there's an actual bow, I would be super, super pumped about that. The player movement, actually, I thought looked fantastic. He's running around, he's putting a little bit more flair into his movements, and I thought that was awesome, because so long, we've been playing Assassin's Creed, and he climbs the same thing over and over again the same exact way. And now it kind of looks like he's going to be putting his own artistic flair on it. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I liked the whole aspect of a revolution. Biggest and badass thing of the entire conference there, though. 4-player co-op campaign. I've been waiting for this forever. I don't care if I have to go out and buy a copy of the game for a couple of my friends. I'm playing the campaign with people. That looks insanely fun. Kind of like a Ghost Recon or a Rainbow Six Vegas kind of aspect to it, where you kind of tactically move through a mission. The only problem I can see is if you get paired up with a dumbass who doesn't know what he's doing, who's going to run around, get detected, basically fuck up your whole mission. Hopefully you can kind of close it off so that way if you only have one person you want to play with, you only play with that one person. But other than that, I am super pumped for that game. Next, I kind of shut off Dragon Age a little bit. The graphics didn't look that great. However, the one thing that kind of intrigued me is it looked like there were a lot of characters. So they didn't really come out and say what was going on with the game. It could be an MMORPG. If that's the case, the graphics looked fantastic. Because, a huge open world and online like that, it's going to be very difficult to get good graphics. But I thought it looked decent from an MMORPG. For a non-MMO, the graphics were kind of They looked mid to late last-gen graphics, and I just was not excited at all. Then they jumped straight into Sunset Overdrive. And I don't know what to make of this game. It looks like it could either be like a fun, casual game or kind of weird and annoying. There are these zombies that really just kind of look like the Flood from Halo. And it kind of kind of gives it like a kiddie Dead Rising or like a joke Nazi zombies feel, kind of like for kids. And that can be fun, if there's a lot of custom characters and weapons and stuff like that. It can be fun to just go dick around with your friends, and that's a game that really needs to, or, like a little niche in the market that needs to be filled, because, looking over at my games collection over there, they're all a lot of serious games. The only game over there that's kind of just a casual joke around game, I have Lego The Hobbit. And other than that, it's just a bunch of serious games, and seriousness isn't always that much fun. Sometimes you want to just screw around. A couple weird things about the game, though, that I did notice. The caption kills and explosions, you'd see the puff of smoke go up, and it would say boom written in there. There'd be like a face or a skull. I thought that was kind of strange. It could be funny at first, but I guess kind of would get annoying after a while. And the HUD in the game, the heads-up display, kind of looked like it was straight out of Mortal Kombat. With all like the weird kind of graphics and the lightning bolt in the upper right-hand corner. It looked like kind of like Mortal Kombat, like an old Mortal Kombat display. Then they showed off something that I still don't understand. The Dead Rising DLC. The entire time that was playing, I was sitting here and I had a friend over, my brother was down here, we were just kind of watching it. And the whole time they were playing that little teaser, I'm like, this is a joke, right? Oh, this is funny, this is a joke. And then they announced it as serious DLC, and I'm just kind of like, woo? I don't know. Then they went on to Dance Central. And then Fable The Legends. I guess some people are going to get excited for Fable. I'm just not that into it anymore. The last one I played was Fable 3, and I thought it was kind of boring. Maybe this one will be more fun, I don't know, but the voice acting seems really, really dumb. They did go on to show something pretty cool. Project Spark. If you haven't played it, there's actually an open beta on the Xbox One, and I've played it a decent amount. It is really cool to jump in there and play just some random mini games, make your own level. It's a very cool concept. It's a game within a game within a game within a game. Hundreds of games. We're entering the Matrix here. It's pretty cool. It was just a fun game, It's a great game to play. I like the whole creation aspect to it, because for people who want to be game designers and can't go to school for it, don't have the time, it's quick, easy, simply jump into it, you jump out, and, you had a good time doing it. Then we had a biggie. The big bomb dropped on the whole press conference, and everyone's pants blew up. Halo came out. I did not like Halo 4. I'm a big Halo fan. I did not like Halo 4. Don't even get me started on Halo ODST. That is not even a game in my opinion. However, they gave us a teaser of Halo 5, and it seemed pretty exciting. They show this new Spartan who's wearing what I call Megatron armor. The face and the helmet look kind of like Megatron's face. But they moved on from there and dropped the bomb on everybody. They told us that together we're going on a journey. And if you can't tell who this is my Lego Bilbo Baggins. And every time they kept saying journey, this is all I kept thinking about. So I brought him with me today. And he's going to be our little correspondent. There is going to be a Master Chief Collector's Box. They said this and my mind was just like, what the it was crazy. There's going to be 100 online maps. It's going to have Halo 1 and 2 remastered. It's going to have Halo 3 and 4. All of the online will be on the original servers. So all the fun gameplay mechanics from the first, the second, the third, I guess the fourth, are all going to be there. It's going to be a different game every time you decide to switch generation game. And all of the maps are going to be online. Some of the Halo 2 maps are going to be remastered. I don't know if all of them are. However, big cool thing is, you buy the game November 11th, 2014. You get a beta code for Halo 5. A beta for Halo. Crazy. And you can get 4,000 gamer score from this Master Chief Collector's Edition. 4,000. For people who consider themselves to be achievement hunters, your pants are probably a little bit wet. 4,000 gamer score is pretty amazing. The entire Halo collection should be played, even if you don't like Halo, even if you don't have an Xbox. Get an Xbox, play Halo. It is a game that everyone should at least have played once. Great game. I love the game. Can't wait to pick up the Collector's Edition or the Master Chief Edition or whatever you want to call it. And I'm really intrigued to see what Halo 5 has to bring us. I'll definitely be playing that beta, posting some gameplay as soon as I can. Then they showed off a lot of indie games. Indie games, to me, are cool. They're very cool for people who don't have time to sit down, play out a full game. Everyone's got a job, everyone's got a house payment, everyone's got a car payment, they got kids. They don't have time to just sit down and play hours and hours of campaign. So it's very cool to see some very interesting indie games. Two that I was kind of excited about, they showed Inside from the Limbo team. And I thought that was kind of cool looking. I honestly don't know what the hell it was about, but something about it was just kind of visually pleasing, if that makes any kind of sense. Then they showed off just a tiny little tidbit of Hell Raid, and it looked kind of like an indie Skyrim with like more emphasis on the magic, which would be really cool. I'd love to play something like that. I like indie games. It gives people a chance to, small companies get a chance to show off their amazing artwork. And I think Sony indie games kind of do this better than anyone else. They show off these gorgeous background scenery for a very simple platformer game, like Max: The Curse of Brotherhood or like Journey. I think the artwork in that game is beautiful. I could look at it all day long. And it just adds to the fact that it's actually a fun game to play. So I do, right after we saw some indies from Microsoft, we got our first glimpse at Tomb Raider. I'm really excited for the game. I liked the first one. You beat it pretty quickly if you played it through. But the next one's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, it's going to be next gen. I'm excited. Then right after that, we saw a game that I'm super pumped about, The Witcher 3. That game to me I think is going to be, it's going to be a fun game. It basically, you have a very, very, very big open world. Good looking graphics, especially for the size of the world. The only thing that I saw that kind of threw me off, the fighting animation. It didn't really seem like you felt when you hit something. And I know that's a hard thing to do in RPGs. Look at Skyrim, you basically would just slash and you killed them without even really hitting them. And that game was amazing. So, who knows? The fighting animations could improve. They could do a little bit more to give you a bit more feedback. That'd be really cool. I'm really excited to see what happens. However, with the trailer that they put out, it wasn't that exciting. I'm someone who's super pumped for the game. I can't wait. So I was going to be excited regardless. It could have been a shit trailer where they showed Geralt's face, and I would have been totally okay with that. But for people who don't really know what's going on with the project, haven't played any of the other games, or not that excited, the trailer looked a bit weak. It wasn't super exciting. It was kind of cool looking. It was interesting, but it wasn't like, woo, yeah! Like, I cannot wait for The Witcher. So, hopefully we'll be seeing some more videos coming from that soon. Hopefully we'll get more people interested and it'll blow up into a pretty big game if it ever actually comes out. We had the Killer Instinct creator come out next and talked about some fighting game. I'm not into fighting games, mostly because I kind of suck at them. You might have been excited for that. Basically, I was just ready for the next thing, which was The Division. The Division looks like a game to end all games. That game looks amazing. The graphics look good, the open world looks great, the animations are great. There's some really cool high-tech weapons and gadgets that look like a lot of fun. The player map actually looks really cool. It's a new twist on just a map. You're not looking at a little circle in the bottom corner of your screen. It's something that you're actually involved in. Something that I saw that was kind of interesting is the part that they showed in the trailer. They walk up and they kind of assess the scene of some kind of train depot, a subway, obviously. And it says 2000 XP pops up on the screen. And the only thing I can't figure out, and they haven't really said anything about, is the XP and rank up system to unlock new weapons, new gadgets, stuff like that, or is the XP then used as a currency on their black market to buy weapons and upgrade your character? I don't know. Either way, I'm super pumped for that game. I can't wait. The iPad or second screen did look a little essential. So if you don't have someone who's going to help play with you, who's going to, kind of play the game with you, it could kind of suck. Hopefully you don't get stuck with some, 13-year-old kid who doesn't know what he's doing and just likes to swear the whole time. But who knows? We'll see. The first content for that is coming out for the Xbox. Whoop-de-doo. That basically means we get to be the beta testers for anyone who has a Sony. And I just don't like that. Quit doing content for exclusive consoles. Quit doing early access. Make it a fair playing ground for all gamers. I understand you want to sell more consoles. I get that. But nothing pisses me off more than seeing, this is only on PlayStation or only on Xbox. Because not many people have the money to go out and get both of them. And we want to play your game. And it makes us trust you a little bit less when you do that kind of stuff to us. After The Division, basically we just had a couple smaller games. We had Scalebound. I still have no clue what that is. It looks kind of like a fantasy RPG. It looks kind of interesting. It didn't draw my attention too much until the character mounted the dragon. That's cool as hell. But apart from that, I couldn't tell you a single part of that trailer. And then they showed Crackdown. Now, Crackdown for me, I'm not that interested in it. I played one. It didn't excite me. I found it to be a bit slow, a bit boring, and at times a bit confusing. Like, I didn't really know what my objective was in certain missions. So for me, it just was kind of like, okay, this is a short little CG commercial, which, it's for a game I really don't care too much about. I mean, there are going to be people, and if you are one of the people, post a comment down below. If you're super pumped about the game, good. Get pumped about something. I mean, Microsoft came out with a lot of great games in their press conference. I mean, like Crackdown, I think is going to be a big game. You got The Division, Halo, The Witcher, Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed. They showed Call of Duty. They showed some great games. Some games that are going to be huge, not just this year, but early next year, and hopefully not late next year, but early next year. I mean, I think Microsoft killed it. I gave them, overall, 9 out of 10. The reason I'm giving them a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10, first of all, I don't want to give anyone a 10 out of 10 because I don't think there's a perfect press conference. And I don't think Microsoft spent too much time talking about indie games. I like indie games. Indie games are great for people who just want to pick up a game and play for a little bit and not have to worry about a serious campaign. And they showed it a little bit. They showcased it a small amount. But there wasn't a huge emphasis on it like I kind of expected there to be. That's okay though, I'm sure we'll see stuff coming out from them soon. They're actually doing really good about turning themselves around, helping out the indie developers. And it just seems like Microsoft knows where they want to go. Phil Spencer is actually a guy, the head of the company. He seems like a pretty good guy. I don't know him personally because I'm sitting in my basement right now doing a crappy podcast that probably no one's watching. But he seems like a pretty good guy and someone who I actually trust running the company. Most of the people who step up on stage, you look at them and you're like, you have no clue what I want to play. How can you tell me what I want to play? But Phil Spencer seems like a gamer. Before I close it out though, I do want to bring up a very serious topic, something that really troubled me throughout the show. I want to know how many t-shirts Phil Spencer brought to that conference. There had to be 5, at least. Every time he came out, he was wearing a different t-shirt. That is wasteful. That is my public service announcement. If you guys like the show, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe so you can see the rest of the press conferences that I watched yesterday. And don't forget to leave some comments down below. I love responding with people. You leave a comment, I'm going to respond to it. We can have a little conversation down below. I like E3, and if you like E3 too, there's a lot to get excited about for the next coming year or two. And I can't wait. Thanks for watching, guys.